Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today we are talking about the Great Guitar Buildoff. Again, we are talking rule changes, how this thing's gonna work. We're gonna talk hardware. Well, we're gonna talk. So yeah, disclaimer, I'm gonna show you some of the hardware that I'm going to be using in the build. I think you'll find that interesting. We're gonna talk about how this is all gonna work, but I'm not building anything in this video. So just keep that in mind. I look forward to the comments about less talking, more building. Heck, we might even talk some trash too, who knows? I would never do such a thing, but anyway. So first off, I think it's important that we kind of update everybody on how this competition is working now. I think a lot of you already know this. Some of the other builders have posted about it. Some are happy about it, probably, some aren't. I'm not gonna talk about how I feel about these, because, I mean, nobody really cares how I feel about it, but we are going to talk about how it works because a lot has changed. Now, notionally, I mean, it'd be like a lightning strike, but you could end up with all of the guitars from the Guitar Buildoff for a very nominal price if you're extremely lucky. So here's the deal. First of all, they have moved it from a bidding system where somebody can bid the most to get the guitar by way of auction to a raffle system where you can buy raffle tickets for the guitar, and of course, the more raffle tickets you buy, the better your chances are of getting it. But it's a raffle, so it's kind of like a lottery type thing. Now, Crimson is running all of this. The rest of us are just supplying our builds, which, I mean, the kits were supplied to us. We're supplying our builds for this. So, to answer the inevitable question, I can't run a raffle here in my jurisdiction. I'm not able to do that. I would need a license, like a facility that does gambling. Like I'm not a casino, I don't run a lottery, and I'm not a charity. So I can't do a raffle, even though it's for charity. I've looked into it before, but there's no reason why I can't let Crimson do it. My understanding is that they've probably checked into this, and hopefully they can. If not, well, that's on them. So now the idea is you buy raffle tickets for the builds you want. Of course, it makes sense to buy at least one for each of them, because then you have a chance to win them all, but that's just me. Now, the way that it's going to work in terms of who wins the contest, because it is still a contest, let me say first, again, I encourage you, if you can, to support all of the charities. Buy raffle tickets for all of the builds, and yeah, they're all for good causes. So that's my thought, but put that aside for a second. The way that it's going to work in terms of who wins is it's going to be based on how much money that guitar raises in terms of the raffle tickets sold, but there's a factor in there to account for viewership. So let's say my video gets 1/20th, now let's make it realistic, 1/100th of the number of views that Jimmy DeRestas does. So for every view I get, he gets 100. Well, every dollar I raise through mine counts 100 times, it counts as 100 votes, and his counts as 1. Presumably, he's going to raise a lot of money for his chosen charity, so that's fantastic. I envy the power that he has to do that, because I would love to just be able to send a massive check to the Stollery Children's Hospital here in Edmonton to help them out. But anyway, in order to compensate for the fact that, you know, some of the channels are gigantic in the millions, and then some of the smaller guys like me are sitting well below that in the 100,000 range, and we've even got Texas Toast Guitars, who basically I think just started YouTube. We've got to have some system in place, and this is what Crimson Guitars has come up with to try and make it fair. So that's it. In order to win the competition, ideally you would get very few views, I guess, and raise tons of money. Now, that wouldn't be good for any of the people participating in the contest, but hey, the math works that way. I don't know. Watch everyone's videos, check out their builds. They're all going to be awesome, and if you can, buy some raffle tickets, help support the charities. And, you know, if you want to do it based more on the charity than the guitar, it's up to you. Whatever works for you. If you are planning on bidding on mine, just forewarning, it does not come with a lock of my hair. Sorry, Ben. Okay, let's talk hardware. The guys from Crimson Guitars are sending me pickups and a bridge. They're their pickups and one of their bridges. I know they're quality hardware, but I haven't seen them yet. So I assume because this build is due on the 4th, they'll probably show up on September 5th. Just anyway, not the point. I am putting in Dunlop Super Pots. So those are a nice, obviously a nice high quality potentiometer that's going to go in there for both the volume and the tone. Now, I was very tempted, hold on a second here. You guys know how I am with wiring. Not great. Anyway, I was very tempted to put in just a standard 3-way switch. Keep it simple, stupid, you know, and still it would probably take me 2 tries. But a standard three-way switch for the 2 pickups, the 2 humbucker system. But one of you guys convinced me otherwise. So, and I appreciate that you did this. Thanks, Bob. And gave me a great suggestion for a way to improve this thing, give more options, and better value, really. And I'm sure mine will be still nowhere near the most complicated wiring scheme. I think obviously the guys from Texas Toast did some pretty fancy stuff with their triple neck build. I know Dan from Guns and Guitars is a mad scientist when it comes to wiring. So yeah, I assume he's gonna do something pretty cool. And Jimmy DiResta may actually invent a circuit board or something for his, I don't know. But the key is I'm changing to something more complicated. But not more complicated to operate, just more complicated for me to figure out. So what I have here, courtesy of my friends over at Solo Music Gear, they've got a couple different kinds of these. This is the one that's gonna work for a 2 humbucker setup, is a freeway switch. This is what I have to wire to. There's a lot going on there. I promise you I will figure it out somehow, at some point. Before this is over, I will figure this out. So this thing has 6 different settings. It's like a 6-gear car shifter. There's top left, top right, bottom right, top, bottom, middle. 6 options for different schemes. So there's going to be a lot going on in terms of the different options for the pickups. And yes, I promise I won't just make the top 3 the neck and the bottom 3 the bridge. So that is what we're doing in terms of the electronics. We'll couple that with an output jack from Obsidian wire, really high quality piece, and some heavy gauge, some 20 gauge wire here that I'm going to probably waste a lot of, making sure that I get this all figured out. And we're going to be in a good spot there. Really looking forward to, well, learning how to wire things and then doing that. You've already seen, if you've been watching, when I did my video on the neck. Now, before I move on, thank you all for your wonderful comments on that. I'm glad that almost everybody is happy with what I've done there and understands what I've done there, with the exception of, I think, well, so far one person who thinks I should just buy a new neck because the magic is gone. But anyway, this is what I'm using for a ferrule. You will have seen it in that video. Like I said, it's got that burnt metal look. If you're looking for these, they are also available under the title bumper washers. And yeah, that's going to be awesome. Look really cool, and it's a perfect fit for my bolts and my neck setup. The nut, if you watched my unboxing video, you will have seen that Crimson sent me 2 of them. I will probably use one of those. I might go for a black one instead, but I don't think so. They're just blank, so I've still got to do that part. And yeah, that'll be part of the video when it comes out on the 4th. And then I have 4 tuners, pretty much my favorites. You guys have seen these before. The staggered Solo Pro locking tuners. I really like these, again, courtesy of Solo. The Solo Pro products are not like their kit products, of course. Now, the kits I like as well. They're good. But the Solo Pro products are awesome. And this, because of the finish on it, is going to look beautiful. Check this out. Black nickel. So it's almost like a candy thing. It's got that shine of the metal underneath, but it's got that darkening on top. I have these on a couple of my guitars, and I love them. So that's about it, guys. Toss in a couple of string roller trees, and we are pretty much set. That's the hardware. We're going to use some standard ferrules. I decided I'm not going to put the ferrule block in this one because it's just not really going to match with the aesthetic of the guitar, which I know I haven't fully shown you yet. But hey, let's toss in a quick spoiler in this video. If you've stuck around to the end, that is your reward. And if you've been following me on Instagram, well, you've already seen a few of them. So there you go. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd love to hear what you think of the new system for how this is going to happen, how this is going to be done, how the contest works, etc. Did I just say etc.? Etc. And also, let me know what you think of the hardware, although I'm probably not going to change any of it. So if you don't like it, sorry. Anyway, thanks again. Hope you liked it. Remember, like I've been saying lately, just because you can doesn't mean you should, but what you should do is give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already so you can see how the build comes out. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one. See you later.